I think your passion and your love for something drives you, and it will take you where you want to be. The first moment I stepped into class and I saw the whole thing, I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I'm a little shy. I've always been a little bit insecure. I've always been the lonely girl at school, never had many friends. So what I found in flamenco is just a way for me to express. Flamenco has changed my entire life, so I think I see myself way stronger once I met with flamenco. There's been a lot of tears, definitely. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I think it's made me real strong. I started when I was 14 years old. So. One of the most difficult things, I think that applies dance in general. You want to prove yourself and others that you're worthy of doing good things. And when you do something wrong, there's a lot of judgment. You're on stage, you're vulnerable. People are watching you. If you do something wrong, they don't like you. There's something wrong with you, with the way you dance. It's you. So I think that's the most challenging part, is rejection. At the end of the day, it just made me stronger. I mean, I'm still doing it. I'm not giving up. You can be whoever you want to be because you love that. But, you know, people who are insecure, people who are more shy, they need to create their own space, I think. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For improvisers, for my students, I always tell them, listen to a lot of flamenco. You have to listen to it a lot. It is complicated, but the more you listen to it, the more it sticks to your brain and to your heart. And then one day, you're just on stage and you kind of know the cues of the singer and you know when to close, you know when to follow. Flamenco, it's not like ballet, like, you know, everyone dances kind of like in the same way, it's trained the same way. Flamenco, it has space to allow for your own personality to pop up because you're channeling, is that the word? You're channeling your emotions. See? So the good thing about flamenco is that flamenco doesn't lie, okay? If you're on stage and you feel a little bit angry, it shows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your movement will influence depending on what you're feeling. So that's the point of flamenco for me. It should have your own characteristic in it. That's why when I teach them technique, when they know the technique, when they know the step, I'm like, okay, search yourself, okay? What is your personality like? Find your inner dancer. How does that look like? Look at yourself in the mirror. How do you like yourself moving, right? So yes, there's a lot of space for that personal touch. You do what you can. Like, you know, the kick kind of makes it like move the hips a little bit, but let's draw it first, then we color it. Every student is just so different in the way they see flamenco. But I know that their perception of flamenco always changes. They come with a different perspective and they come out different, so. Let's try everything in music. Sí? Sí. Maestro. Normal. Guajiras. Someone can be very talented and do a lot of crazy moves and be very impressive, but there's some people, like, when they go to stage and they just stand like this and they have a heavy essence, is sparking, and you're like, ole. Sorry, it's hard for me to describe, but they say, oh, this person has duende. it is just this intangible thing that you recognize it when you see it in someone. You look at that person on stage and it kind of strikes your soul. It's like, wow. It requires a lot of connection, I think, with the mind and the body. What am I feeling? Is it sadness? Is it happiness? What am I just nervous or am I hungry? Like, you need to be really clear with your body and your mind. I think you need to have that intelligence. I don't know if it's the kind of intelligence when you're really connected and you know how to express it, you know. Technique and emotions need just to be together, okay? And technique is another way to express yourself at a different level. If you're limited physically, then you cannot express a little bit above. Probably if your technique is good, you can jump to another level and express it a little bit high up there. So technique enables you to do that. I'm quite the opposite. I'm all expression and all about the drama and all about the sentiment, but I leave a lot of technique. So, it's just part of my process. I need to focus more now on technique, a little bit more. But I'm very dramatic. I'm all emotions. I think it's my favorite part. Flamenco for me is the main source of communicating my emotions.